Okay, we're back. 8 o'clock on the 17th. It's a Thursday in April. Oh man. We're back. Man, I tell you what. Sometimes I'm sat here and I'm like, we're going to start the live. Excitement. Anyway, how are you all doing, everyone? I hope you're having a good Thursday evening. We're going to kick off the show. Tonight we're going to be doing some big things. So, 2 books, 2 days. Can we make it 3 books, 3 days? I've been doing all kinds of other work as well. I've just had it on the side. My laptop clone has been doing all the work. So, what are we looking at? Tonight on the show, book 3 and the Temporal Pincer. So, I've already written all of that stuff. We're going to get to that. What are you looking at on my screen right now? I haven't even said anything about it. Well, you're going to have to wait because I think half of you know. And if you don't, then you're about to find out. But first of all, thank you all. Welcome everybody who's watching live or you're watching later. Don't forget that you can join the Discord. The join link is in the description. Stop dooning and join us, where I am posting all types of Empire concept art for this new storyline we've just come up with in the last, literally didn't exist 4 days ago. Wasn't even a dream yet. And now I'm dedicating a lot of my cognitive free time to exploring this new universe. And what we're doing here, I'm actually training a new Laura, surprisingly. We're training a lot of Lauras, actually. Let's just go through the announcements real quick. So, first of all, my Mobius, without saying Mobius, I mean, look, it's not by design. I wanted to make an IO Moonbase illustrative style for our Moonbase story bucket. So whenever you want to write stories, because we built it together on this live stream about a couple of weeks back. I forget the number, but we built the narrative story bucket together based on stuff people were suggesting in the chat. We ended up with brutal. Okay, thanks for that. Right in the middle of my backswing. So we're going to go to the backup. The backup is the inside line. So these are the things that have happened that I was about to show you, and there would have been loads of pictures, but civets down. I hope the Lauras I'm training don't get cancelled. Anyway, so we made, for the Westwick style, we made Westwick Detective in Flux, and we made Westwick Style. We also did a high-vid Laura train on Civet, because, yeah, you can do Laura video training on Civet now. So I was planning on looking at that, but Civet's down. Also, we made it in video. We trained the same data set with the default settings, so you can compare these. Do you see what I mean? That's why we've done it this way. So you have the video model for the detective, and you have the style model for both for Westwick. All right, same data set, same everything. Right. Also, what's this? We also have the Outpost style that I was just about to show you, which is for the Moonbase narrative bucket. Oh, I haven't spelt narrative right. Anyway. And then obviously the Empire style, which is what we're currently writing stories for. So Empire Soldier, Empire Style, and then Empire Style in high-vid. I didn't do the character because I want to refine the captions and, yeah, more experiments. We've already got good things to compare by doing these two. So, also I released a couple of workflows. So I released a Flux Fill in Paint Basic and a Flux Fill in Paint Advanced, which we showed previously on a couple of streams back. So I think Apollonia asked me for that, so I pushed that forward because, yeah, I got a long list. I got a shopping list of things to do, guys. And then to help people making image-based training for video training, I brought out this workflow, which is Append 160. It's actually not in Append mode, it's in Create mode, but I'll show you how it works. But essentially it doesn't just do the caption, it makes one caption for each video, and then it actually dumps 16 frames in sequence at a point you can determine. So I'll take you through that in a little bit. Now obviously because I've only done like one caption for that sequence of images, you have to duplicate the caption to those files. So I put together a file duplicator script, you drop it in and run it, and it will detect. Let's see. So it'll group files by prefix, and then, yeah, the idea is it groups them by the first part, because that's the bit that was the video file name. So whatever your video file name would be whatever your video file name is up to there. And then it's actually underscore, you know, the comfy numbers that go on the end. And so what happens is you have like one text file for the first one, and then the rest of them don't have captions. So what the script does is it duplicates the caption for that one for the rest of them, and then it just follows that pattern for the rest of the files. But anyway, I was going to show you that too. And I was going to show you the article. So annoying, everything's down. So yeah, maybe it'll come back. Let's try it. Hey, we're back in business. Right, good. Right, so while it's like deciding whether it's alive or not, let's read some comments and say hello to everybody. Hello, Fernicar, Battlecruiser Operational. Hello, Kurt Curtis. Hello, Vascular Degamatron with the Dream Rock Dispatches in the chat tonight. Hello, Full Dive Media. Yes, and thank you very much. And hello, Who White Memes. Hello, Dragon. Hello, Full Dive again. Everybody. So let's keep going. So as you can see, this is kind of like a... these are just the demo outputs, so we're going to probably do some image generation in a bit and check what these look like. But the idea is it's Jupiter, Moon of Io, Starbase, or a space station orbiting, whatever. Space stuff, right? I tend to stay away from space stuff these days, but we thought about doing an art style like this for a graphic novel type application. So that's the purpose of it. Writing the story, making the graphic novel, using the lore, right? Obviously we'll have to make characters. Okay, oh, and also something I'm doing now, so you'll find the captions in the training data as usual, but you'll also find a report now, which is like a manual for this LoRa, how to prompt it, what the best words are. It's way better than anything I could have ever written up. You know, essentially it tells you what its strengths are, so you don't have to waste hours figuring it out, you know? Because obviously it's good at doing space stations, people in space suits. That's what it's good at. Because that's the genre I'm going to write it for. Okay, let's go back. It's still working. All right, let's see if we can show you one or two of the others. I've made, to be honest, too many things to show all of them off, but... So let's see. Oh, well, we got a thumbnail, so yeah, the thumbnail will do, right? So yeah, we've got the Westwick Detective video model. We've got the Westwick style model. That's supposed to be a diving suit. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. These video trains are experimental. Here's the Empire High Vid style. So it's tried its best. It's done a pretty good job, actually, if you ask me. It's pretty much got the aesthetic there. And then the Westwick style for doing our detective noir. Because I've got like 5 detective noir books, and I would love to be able to illustrate them with a consistent character and style. That's the idea. Shots with the character in, use this one. Shots without the character in, or image to image, use this one. And then it will be consistent. You're not necessarily supposed to use both of them at once all the time. Because the difference with this approach is this is the fun part, okay? When I made these, the prompts are identical. Because what we've done is we've trained the same images as a style model and as a character model. And then we've curated out everything that isn't the character. But these images and these prompts are in the style model already. So it's perfect alignment. Yeah, that's the idea anyway, or the theory. See, well, we'll see. The proof's in the pudding. If it works, it works. You know, that's the way I look at it with these experiments. Anyway, DJZ Empire Style and Empire Soldier. These are V1s, so they're going to get refined by curating the images and improving the captions. But that takes time. I've got to read through them. Obvious stuff is easy. Less obvious stuff takes longer. So it's usually like 3 or 4 versions before you really get the Laura perfect, because there's always oversights. We're human, we make mistakes. You missed that one image, you know. Okay. Interestingly, I just want to talk about this right now. See this image here? Look at this prompt. So there's something which I actually lost. Okay, so I want to talk about something real quick. There's something which I actually lost from this process. So this right here is obviously an astronaut on the Jupiter station, but these tattoos are tattoos of the Io landscape, right? So the original prompt was these guys that work on the station, they've covered their arms with the patterns that they see on Jupiter or its moons, the surface. So they're looking down and they're seeing these patterns, and they tattoo those patterns on their arms. It's part of the law, right? And we nailed it in this. But then when I came along with my captioning process, I've kept output post style depiction of a worker, but then I've used a QuenVL. And this is the weakness of auto prompting or auto captioning. It doesn't know anything about what I was saying, right? So let's see, the video depicts, and by the way, it's video on purpose because we're going to retrain the same model as a video model. That's the next step once it's all nice. Video depicts a futuristic scene inside a spacecraft or space station. Cool. Environment filled with advanced technology, machinery, various panels, screens, control interfaces. A character wearing a detailed spacesuit with intricate designs and a helmet is interacting with the equipment. So far so good, right? Lighting is dramatic, red highlights on some panels. I mean, kind of. Adding to the tense atmosphere of the scene, the overall aesthetic is reminiscent of science fiction with a focus on the complexity and the detail of the spacecraft's interior. You see? What did it miss? Didn't say anything about his cool tattoos. Because this is the sort of thing that the QuenVL is going to miss, and that's why what I do is I just go, right, train stage 1, eval. And this is something you're immediately going to spot. You're going to go, look at this image, look at the caption. Wait a minute, he didn't say nothing about his cool tattoo. So obviously that's something that we have to fix. But that's HIL, that's human in the loop, right? When you've got human in loop, you catch this stuff. AI's never going to catch this stuff. It's just not that good. It's going to be a while. Okay, say never. Never say never, okay? But at the moment, it's not going to catch it, all right? You could probably fine-tune a vision model to catch stuff like that, by the way, but that's something that you've got to do, and nobody does that. If you're just using the vision model out the box, it doesn't understand these... I'm going to call it a high art concept, even though it's not. But I just want to sort of convey the thing you got to watch out for. I spent my entire career removing human in loop, says Dragon. Yep, and now you're going to get paid to put it back in again. And now you're going to spend the rest of your career putting the human back in the loop. Because before they wanted to automate everything, and now they're going to over-automate everything. And it's going to be like Wallace and Gromit. You're wearing the wrong trousers. Yeah? It's literally what AI is right now. You wake up and you're wearing the wrong trousers because it's too automated. And this is why we break it all up and we keep ourselves in here. Because obviously if I'd done this manually, there's no way I wouldn't have said something about the cool tattoos. But anyway, it's just a small thing to mention. Okay, right. So you can do that in the second version. You know what I mean? If you look at my previous Lauras which have been fully developed, you'll see sometimes they go on for like 8-9 versions because I'm like, oh, what if we retrain it with what about this config? What if we yeah. That's art, really. It's never really finished until you're like, oh, I'm happy with it, or I'm doing something else now, you know? Yeah, Dragon, you should ring up your old clients and say, hey, do you want to talk about putting them back? Right, we're just discussing human in loop. It's a good strategy. Right, so let's go back. I want to take a look at this tonight, see what we can do with this. Do you know what? We might just. Do you know what? Anyway. So, last time, what we were looking at was book 2. Oh, that's gone. Don't worry. Close. Oh, okay. It's fine. I got rid of it. Chill. Restrict. What? What the heck is this? Restricted mode. Trust this window. Man, it must be a new feature. Okay, cool. This is I've trusted. What? Okay, I've had enough. Let's just go into our tools folder. Empire Law. Right. Now this is the part where it gets interesting because there's nothing there. No. What I have to do is make another one. So Empire 003, and then I have to get my memory card. 2 seconds. No. So yeah, that was me forcing it in with all of my power. Give me a sec. Come on, laptop. Give me my goods. So basically what I've got is, it was so funny, I was having a great time. I was out today with the laptop, with the VS Code, just writing stories. It was so fun. And the thing is, you only need a Chromebook for $100 with open router key, VS Code, and that's it, you're good to go. Oh, what's that? Claude isn't the best anymore? Just change the drop down. It's like awesome. Okay. I think you're listening to the, I don't know, the sound's usually pretty good, but that is a motorbike and it is revving its engine. It's fine. Okay. So let's copy that. Wait a minute. Oh, I see. Right, I need to make number 3. Make number 3. Projects, Empire Law. There it is, 001. Copy. And actually, there's a bunch of stuff I've got to show you on this as well, because I've made a whole bunch of new prompts. And it's actually really funny. When I had my dinner today, I was at a restaurant and I was there with the laptop doing, I never take a laptop out with me usually, right? And the joke is that I was in there and I know the guy that runs the place, and he didn't even spot me because he didn't think, it was like, oh, I was like, who's that bloke with a laptop? It's you. But it was awesome. I had a Japanese katsu curry. Sorry guys, I'm not trying to make you hungry. Oh yeah. Oh no, don't plug it in. Oh man. I thought it wasn't possible to plug it in upside down, but I was wrong. Okay. We're nearly there. Let's open up the memory stick. Get 003. Right, and let's just copy all that. Right there. Boom. Look at that. It's so easy. So we got a couple things to talk about. Now, let's talk about this real quick as well. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to do like a conceptual thing. So let me get the file folders up somewhere. It's fine art. Oh my god, that is a loud motorbike. So it's fine art, classic fine art in the public domain. And I've decided, because I'm thinking it's British Victorian, you know what I mean? It's Victorian redcoats. And I was thinking to myself, well, there's loads of these old sort of Napoleonic era sort of imagery, right? And I thought I could apply my style model to that and just make it more sci-fi. And it'll have like a legit type of composition to it, yeah? So that's what you were looking at just there. Let me just go to photo. Am I still in that? Oh my god. That's got to be a big folder. Ah, here we go. Reynolds oil style. Here we go. Let's bring this over on the main screen. Come on. Wow. Okay. Right. Wait for it. And I'm back. Right. So what have we got? This is the result of using my flux workflow, which uses... this one uses depth with Shaka, so Shaka depth, and it's using Jaguar Q8. Now I want to do some flux fill stuff because we just released that workflow. But as you can see, this is like a legit... And do you know what I thought was really funny about this image? Okay, there's an arm sticking out of her back. And when I first saw it, I was like, oh, it's a bad gen. And then I was like, wait a minute. There's a dude behind her messing with the horses. I was like, couldn't they have like got the horses out of the shot? Do you know how long they must have held the horse like that for the painter? I'm joking. You know, everyone jokes about, you know, they have to hold your pose, they have to hold their pose. So the artist has just added that. But anyway, I thought this was a pretty cool composition. And it is heavy gauche oil painting, which is what I was trying to mimic anyway. So we might actually end up improving my mix, because I'm training this as Reynolds style. Is the name of the artist. I think he's 1850. Okay. He's messing with the horses. This guy's messing with the horses, right? He's obviously, you know, a hand. But the irony is, it kind of messes up the portrait. You know what I mean? Like, you're getting this super expensive portrait made, and then there's like some guy photobombing you in the oil painting. I just think it was kind of funny, because, you know, it happens with cameras because they're instant. But it's like, obviously I'm joking and it was put in there on purpose. But, you know, you would be like, oh, you're ruining the shot. Get out of there. Why are the horses in the back? You know, obviously she wants to be with her. I bet those are her horses or something, you know. But anyway, so it gives us a generic prompt, which is pretty good. Depicts a historical scene of a soldier on horseback. Wait. Excuse me, Quenviel? No one's on horseback. It's because there's a dark thing here, and there is a horse, and there is a person, and she is in a sort of riding pose. So they're like, must be a horse, right? So these are the things you have to catch. But anyway, like I said, the first version of Allura, I find, is just to prove that it's actually going to train well, you know? But what I thought was funny from our point of view is that no wonder AI is training arms coming out and stuff. What chance did it have? There's a dude with the same clothes behind her. Like, you train an AI on portrait, and it's like, well, sometimes in a portrait, there's another arm sticking out. I don't know why, you know? And it's so actually, it's like the AI wasn't actually wrong. It's our fault for weird choices. You know what I mean? It's our fault. Anyway, so here is the original, and here is our sci-fi Empire style. And like I said, this is in line with what I trained. This just because the thing is, the way I look at it is like this. If they all look like this, it's a style. Yeah, I've learned this from training thousands of style models. It's like, it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be consistent, and like you're conveying your intent. Like, this collection is supposed to evoke a dystopian sci-fi British Empire vibe. So that's what we're going for. Yeah. Right. But anyway, to that end, what I did was I made a whole bunch of new image sets. So Reynolds oil style is one of them. And then obviously we're dosing it with the Empire style. And then we're loading Soldier with Empire, because these are designed to run together. Okay, I could probably turn the strength down because they are doubled up, but it's fine for now. I'm happy with it for now. We're doing image to image, but we are doing a depth map. and that kind of keeps it under control without needing like flux fill. But what I would like to do is flux fill their heads to make them more robotic. I think that would be really cool if we could pull that off. Right, so okay, I think we're all caught up. Oh yeah, that's right, new workflow. So where is it? Image set, captioner, create mode. I think I might have put this back. Yeah, I put it back to image mode again so I could make this. Back again. Here it is. Right. So I'm training a Buster Keaton video Laura, but if I'm being honest, I'm doing it with the images on Civet. So the issue I've got is that it's not going to work because I just chose 16 frames, at random from the clips. So what I really need to do is go back and actually manually recut my samples so that they are the 16 seconds of action, because a lot of the time there was nothing happening in here. Like, this is good, but it's almost like there's too much before the car falls apart, and so you kind of miss the pun, and in the next scene it's like a man stood next to a broken car or something. So, it's a good experiment, but we'll see how the results come out. I know from experience the motion trains better when you train video, but Civet haven't got that yet. I do have I have it on good authority that they were working on it, and WAN and LTX are on the cards. So if this goes well, and I haven't tested any of the models I've trained yet, but I'm gonna have to do that today or tomorrow. It was kind of like a big surprise. I've been watching it, it wasn't actually there yet, and then it just suddenly showed up. But yeah, let's just explain what this does. So it takes a folder of videos, and it goes through. So you could extract skip 5 16 long, and then you could go to skip 20 8 long, and then increment it up yourself. So extract the short sequences. That's what it does. It's going to extract just 16 frames in sequence from wherever you want. You obviously increase the skip frames to go further into the clip, and so you can extract sequences from a video and then move on to the next video in the folder, move on to the next video in the folder. So you can do it all from here. Obviously you change the folder name if you need to. And moving on, what it does is this is one of the big things. It only actually takes one frame, which you choose, and it captions one frame from the sequence. So then you end up with one frame captioned and the rest not. And then I bundled a Python script in the folder just here, and you run it from inside the folder, and it should match it up for you. Do I have an example of that? I do now. I'm starting to get organized. Take months. Oh my god, did somebody just message me on this? Close that. I need to actually shut that off. There we go. Right. I don't know why all of my things have disappeared. Yeah, no one's even messaging me. Right, anyway. So, oh, yeah, there it is. Actually, that's the example. Here we go. These are the instructions right here. So, I already explained this, but essentially it's going to duplicate the captions for you. So if I show you in here, look, video, Buster. So here's all my Buster videos, look, that's the original. These are just all the clips I've got. And then if I go in here, oh my god, I don't know why, it's Windows security seems to have gone nuts these days. Right. Alright, so it's quite a few, it's quite a lot. Like 1,400 items. Luckily we don't have to do 20 repeats with a video model. And they are much smaller as well. My god, man, look at it. Right, anyway, let's just dive in. So as you can see, there's an image. There would be a caption if it opens. There we go. Keaton style. This video depicts a man standing on the edge of a rooftop looking down, seen as an urban environment, buildings and power lines. He appears to be contemplating his next move. Right? Because he does. He's about to jump, isn't he? But that's the joke. He gets to frame 16. He hasn't jumped yet. This is why I think I have to tweak the data set so that I get the actual moment he jumps and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You have to... Anyway. Because I'm only doing 16 frames because I'm testing the efficiency, right? I will say, though, it did seem to learn the style, right? So when like I said, I've seen some of the demos. The hell, why is there one there just called Buster 2? Oh, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, that's training. In fact, let's have a look, because it's not broken, right? Training. Ooh, Keaton Styles at 9 of 10, guys. This should be good. Sheesh! Eric's in the house. Welcome. Ooh, okay. Oh. See, it's like, it's done its best, guys. It's done its best. See, it doesn't really understand, because I didn't show it a guy jumping off a roof. I showed it a guy about to jump off a roof. So it's actually not... It's actually really quite good. Down there is quite good. I don't know. It looks a bit fuzzy. I think Epoch 8, unless Epoch 10 gets better, Epoch 8 looks like the best one right now. Oh no, wait, no. That car definitely fell apart. Ooh, it's tough. See, none of these cars fell apart. Only one car is falling apart. Oh. But then again, look, it's just the damaged vehicle. At least it's an old-timey car. No. Oh, man. Oh, that's got 2 steering wheels. It looks like Epoch 8 right now. I'm going to do that. Pirate GFX maybe implement an option to select every nth frame to avoid many similar frames. I thought the same thing, but do you know what? When you actually look at this particular data set, check out how much movement we get. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, you're right. We'll do skip N4. Oh, sorry, we'll do 4 because it doesn't even change. 1, 2. Oh wait, that does. 3. He just wasn't moving. Hang on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's like watching Dragon Ball Z. 10, 11, 12. See you next week. But yeah, I reckon N4 is probably a good idea. Every nth, every 4th frame. Yeah, that's going to improve it. Right now it looks like this one. So let's just have a look at that then. So we can do that now, right? So if we say Buster set 2, right? It's already got the path, it's already on that. Let's put that onto increment. I think there were 44 videos. I do want to set it... Oh wait, no, because we're going to do... Ah, crap, I got rid of that option. Oh, I got rid of that. Or rather, when I say I got rid of it, this is my node. And it's not that I got rid of it, it's that I didn't add that back in. Ah, wait a minute. We can do frame rate. Instead of 30, we can do 8. That's going to be roughly the same as doing every 4th frame. That should do the trick. So then at 16 is actually 2 seconds worth. That's not bad because it actually does it at 16 frames per second in the thing. Oh, I don't know, maybe... But then again, even going to 16 would be better than what we were doing before. I'll do it this way and see what happens. The only concern is that it actually will be significantly different for every frame, and then maybe it's actually a good idea to just let it caption every image. It would be easier than giving out the script as well, because I know some people are going to be like, what? The problem is that it will caption every frame differently, potentially, because it might be like car, car, bus, car, car, bus, car, 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 trailer. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the reasons why I'm doing it this way. But hey, I wanted to show you how the script works, so let's just get on with it. So there's going to be 44 of them, and we're going to run it. Cog Factory has a video captioner that looks at the entire video. Yeah, and you know what? You can put the video path here if you want. I never have, but you can put the video there. I've just never got round to testing it. But yeah, look, see, this is the tool that's used by all of the online trainers. Replicate, Fal AI, they all use Quen VL. If you look in the code, it's QVL or Q25VL, because it's open source, and it is actually really good. It's way better than Florence. It's better than that other, what that other one? We had another one recently. It's better than that. So let's have a look at the spread. What do we got? Don't tell me he still doesn't jumped yet. Come on. That's not possible. Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, it's like he's not even moving. 8 frames per second, 16 frames. Ah, there we go. That's more like it. Yeah, it is working. Yeah, it is working. It's just not. I wonder if we could go further. Do like 6 frames a second or something. Yeah. Oh no. That's a lot of boxes. And I'm only training style here as well. I'm not training movement, because I think you need to have, well, this, as we're changing it, this might be better now, but I still think it's not enough. It's not enough movement still. Like, if that's supposed to be 2 seconds on screen, where is he? Oh, there he is. There he is, there he is, there he is. It's kind of hard to make him out, but he is falling. See, half the time the VL didn't even see there was a person, because it can't really tell what's going on. Let's see. Oh. So hang on, let's see the prompt here. See, it doesn't know what the hell. Oh. Dude running. Train. Oh yeah, it's the famous. He grabs the. Oh no! See, he runs up. He spends the whole thing running up, and then nothing. Here again, look. See, just before the moment of the thing. Got the whole running cycle. Got the whole walk cycle. Oh! Looks like I made multiple clips in sequence to make sure I got it. But yeah, we're gonna get the next one. Yeah, so that's actually probably worth training motion. Guy hanging on back of car. It's quite famous. Oh yeah, it's the thing where they walk across on top of each other, but again, I clipped it too early. Oh, no, there they go. Such a crazy wide shot as well. They're going through a gate as well. You don't notice it. Oh. Yeah, back to that. Okay. So as it creates these, let's go and have a look at where they're being put, because that's kind of more important right now. So duplicate the tab and back. QuenVL. Buster. So as you can see, it's only given us one caption. See what I mean? It's only giving us one caption, but obviously we've got all these frames. So that doesn't actually pair with anything, you know, because the underscore numbers, but we need those numbers for the sequence. So it's actually quite useful to do it this way. And so I know this caption is good for these. So the script says match the file name prefix to all suffixed numbered files. Make a matching pair of text, you know? That's what it does. It's quite simple, so it should work with any file name as long as you use my workflow. You know, and you don't have a crazy, you know, if the video, because this is from the video file name as well, this is named after the video that you presented to it. So obviously if you've got some crazy file name, that might break it, but if you've given files names, then you'll be fine. So where is that script? I should have it in the downloads folder somewhere. File duplicator. File duplicator. It does exactly what it says on the tin. We've got 12 more images to go, so let's open up a terminal. And say Python file duplicator. And then in about 10 images time, we'll run that. Oh no, he fell over. I bet he filmed that live, and people are watching like, what the heck is this guy doing? He's probably like the first TikTok maker. I don't, because look, yeah, that's right. He's walking along and it just suddenly becomes a cliff. It's interesting. That's a cool idea, look. So, this is interesting. So here's a little observation, right? This is obviously old-timey. Ah, they're gone. You see how there was like columns at each side because the video was not full frame? And they couldn't make it bigger, you know, they didn't have upscalers. And they couldn't film it again. If it's like a crazy stunt, they probably only managed to do it once. So it's interesting. Sometimes we have these small things that we've made and it makes you think, well, hang on a minute, AI generated columns on each side, black background, rounded corners, crop it. It's actually quite an artistic solution to the same problem. He looks so smug in his car. Awesome. Right, that's done. Okay, so let's go into the folder. Well, let's just run the duplicator. It wants a path, so I'm going to give it this folder here. And it's going to do it. If I just refresh, I have pairs now. Now, there will be the occasional, see, Buster 1. See, it's easier to get rid of, you don't need them anymore, see? So it's easier to get rid of them from, can you get away? I don't care about that drop down, right? So I need to get rid of Buster 1, Buster 2, Buster 3. The duplicator script can go as well now. We've used it, it's done. 4, 5, 6. Oh my god, there's like 40 of these. Oh boy. I should have made the script delete them too. I don't like making scripts that delete things though. Do you know what? I don't know why I'm not just doing it in list view. Windows annoys the hell out of me with their stupid UI. Right, here we go. They'll stand out because they don't have numbers on the end. Come on, get to the text files. He didn't even delete them yet. What the hell? They're gone. Windows sleeping at the wheel again. They're gone. Delete that. So yeah, click. Delete. Hang on, couldn't I get them for... Nah, wait. Could I get them for age? No. Could I... No. I thought there would be another way to do it. I thought maybe I could get them for age, because technically these ones... What? Right. Windows, wake up. Sleeping at the wheel. To be honest, I don't think it even matters if I delete these or not, because I think they'll just get ignored as there's no image to pair them with, but you know, for the sake of keeping it clean, I'll go ahead and just knock them off. It's like one of those I've started so I'll finish type situations. At least it's easier to spot them like this. But yeah, apart from like these sort of unused files, this is ready to train. So we'll go ahead and do that as well. And then we can show you the video training. Alright, there we go. I just pressed a shortcut for Adobe Premiere. I've been working too much today. Okay. So this one's going to be Buster Style V2. I keep on pressing the K key for some reason. Alright. So, Civitai. Do you have the Civitai? We're going to go... Oh no! Oh no! Alright guys, hold it. They took the site down and took the feature away while I was in the middle of my backswing. So guess what? I'm holding my feature too, because what's the point in being like, hey guys, guess what? You can't do it. So yeah, I think they must be fixing things. Hang on, let me try it again. Temporarily disabled, check back soon. Gah! Damn it! Well, I guess I'll just make the video tutorial and like, just have it ready to release when they bring it back. But yeah, you click video, character style concept, it's the same. There's an extra one that's motion. Yeah. Come on. Civet, what are you doing? Killing me out here. Okay, so if I go to articles, my 51st article is about on-site video training, dataset creation, the models, the workflow to make the dataset, and then, yeah, I mean, there it is. It looks like that. Anyway, I was hoping to put the thing. Oh no, they haven't. Hang on, this will be the grim part. We find out that my training's got knocked off. Oh, no, it's still there. Refresh it. Reynolds style is finished as well. Holy crap. Right, we need to grab that. So yeah, I did train the oil painting style because I thought, what's better than using oil paintings to, as image-to-image food, but making a model for that too. Wow, that is a big dog. It's going to be a tough one. I reckon it's going to be 10, 9, That one's a bit that's overfit. That's overfit. 6 looks good. It's a bit strange. Whoa, that's a big doggo. So yeah, I think 6 is good. But it's obviously a bit weird. The best one is going to be 9, I reckon. 9 or 10. I think 10 might be slightly overfit. So yeah, it's usually 9 for flux. Have we got them? Yeah, we got those. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, so what's this here? Yeah, we're waiting for number 10. It may never come. So, did I download number 8? Yeah, I did. I'm going to get 9 as well, just in case this disappears. I have had it happen before where, you know, things have disappeared and you've been like, oh man, but I had it was training, and I didn't grab the epochs while I had the chance, so now I'm like a bit of a hoarder when it comes to the training results. Okay, alright, so main thing is video training is coming. Probably somebody broke it. But yeah, so I've got another data set. So obviously, just to make sure I don't, you know, waste that, I'm going to chuck it into my data sets folder, which is the whole point. Buster V2. And put this back in there because I didn't want to bring it out. Just Windows being Windows. Okay. Okay, cool. So, like I said, I've been doing image-to-image stuff with depth lately. So, let's see. I reckon we're going to do a switch. And, yeah, the quickest thing is actually just going to be to change the style. So, how about... Oh, have I even got it in there? I bet I don't. There's always another step. Side quest time. So if I come to my outputs and I come to the output captions, that's it. Output style. I do have it. Alright, outputs. Copy it. It's like 1 million missions. Back. DJZ nodes. Prompts. Yeah, it wasn't in there. Back. Right. Question mark. Close that. What's this? Oh yeah, we're back to the writing soon. In fact, I'm nearly out of time. So, as long as I can get this set up in the next 3 minutes, we're good to go. I'm going to leave it on Reynolds oil style for the donor image. Okay, and in fact, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Oh, I know what I have to do. Something that will get me in trouble because it's fine art, and I forgot to curate out one image from this data set. Hold up. So stupid. There's like one image in the set which has got a nipple out, and I was like, come on man, it's oil, it's a fine art oil painting from 1850. Do you have any idea how prudish they were in 1850? And that was acceptable then. Isn't that crazy that we're actually more prudish than, anyway, like Victorian British Empire? Like, oh, be careful, you don't want to show a bit of ankle. So yeah, I'm going to take this data set. Oh, it's already in there. I don't need to take it. Right, cool. Did we already copy that to the datasets folder? Need to know. Need to know. Asking for a friend. Up. don't see it, I'm adding it anyway. It's there, okay, but I'm not yet. Right. So yeah, and then we've obviously got even more lures to add into my thing as well. Damn it! There's so many things. It's my own fault for training so many models. AAA testing, got the outpost style stuff in there, but what we don't have is all of this stuff, the Keaton style and the Reynolds style. And in fact, I don't think at Keaton's video, but the Reynolds style, I'm going to need the captions for that. You see how it's like side quest, side quest, side quest. Alright, Keaton, 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 high vid. These are all for testing right now. I'm pretty sure Big Doggo is good though. Oh wait, no, I think this might be a retrain. So many things. So, got to change this. So this is now going to be... I want to do outposts first. Yeah. Outposts. That's actually 0 UT. Oh my goodness me, there's so many of them. I'm going to go for 18. Typically 17 or 18. I think I'm going to go for 17 because that's actually an early 9. I used the split technique for this one. I'm going to say none here. In fact, I'm going to remove this just because I get like superstitious about things that are turned off not being turned off. Okay, so we've got Reynolds style with the Reynolds style prompt. And then we want to do the outpost. Outpost. Oh yeah, it's 0 UT, isn't it? Outpost text. Cool. So then we're not going to use this prompt. I'm going to use... do I really want to do that? Do you know what? No, I am going to use this. Yeah. And we're just going to see how it goes. Alright, go. So first image is our... Does it look like it's scrunched this image to you? It looks like horrifically compressed this one, but that's okay. Oh, I see why. It's quite low res. I don't know what it's doing. It's doing depth. Okay. Right. So we've got it just in the nick of time. Maybe with like 1 minute over. Whatever. Do you know what? There's a little thing that happens every hour on this show, and I like to call it coffee time. The question is, are you using the new coffee maker I brought you that gives you extra froth? I have not received it yet, Dragon. See, the thing is, it's funny. Coffee is like £4.50 or something in the UK if you go to a store, but I don't do that. I got a machine for it. And someone said to me, oh, it's even cheaper if you just get instant. And I was like, yeah, but then you have to keep like milk, which always goes off, and I don't have a tap. And also the kettles blow up electric circuits. I don't know why. They're like super triggering. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I got all these GPUs running. I don't know. But one thing I do know is that certain things are bad and they like trip the electrics. So I've just learned not to bother. I think it's like 2,000 watts, I think, is about the maximum. And some of these kettles are like 2,500. Anyway, enough of that mumbo jumbo. Right. I'm back. Hello. So, what does it look like? So, we've gotten, what have we added? We added in our outpost style. So we got Reynolds style first, so obviously that's taking up all of the attention. So I think don't use that, and let's go with a description of the image next, right? Wait, how is that attached as well? It's bugged out, isn't it? What? Look at that. It's attached, but it's not attached. Hey! We fixed it. I hope that wasn't... See what I mean when I say, like, I get superstitious about the pipeline being like a zombie? Sometimes it's got... Anyway. A dirty pipeline. So obviously it'll take a little minute to do the QuenVL, and I have put it on false because I don't intend on using it again. The trouble is, it uses the problem with QuenVL, even in 4-bit, it uses so much memory. It uses 90% of memory on device and 10% for the buffer. Sure. Which is why I tend to split captioning or do captioning in advance, build data sets. You don't need to use the GPU. Because the thing is, if say I want to batch a folder of 4 images and it has a QuenVL, every 4 images I'm just doing the same compute over and over and over and over again. That's bad. May as well like pre-caption it, which is what I've done here. So, to be honest, it's probably not going to make that much difference. So, new plan. Let's put it back, because there's no point. And let's have this one. And I will just manual prompt. I will say, oh, I don't know what it's going to be, do I? Because it's going to bloody change. Hang on. So let's see what it's going to be. Oh, it's not bad. I mean, it's definitely learned something. See, I'm like taking it into the weeds here, really. We should probably do a denoise, like a higher denoise as well. I'll do a 0.9 and a 1.0 because it'll might lose the shape, but that's okay. I want to see how far I can push it, and then probably I'll just turn off the image to image and get a text to image thing and test it proper. So what's it going to do next? He's going to do... What? It didn't change the prompt. Oh, it's going to do woman with harp. Okay. So, woman with a harp. I need to keep it basic. I think this one's a pass because there's basically no prompt. Keep going. Nescafe Instant and Coffee Mate. Ugh, I can't stand the stuff. You know, it's all good if you like it, but I can't stand the stuff. It tastes funny to me. Yeah, I don't do sweeteners or anything like that. You know, don't put sugar in it. Like, it's milk or water. Or milk and water. Coffee snob. I only drink coffee beans from the Ecuadorian rainforest. They are harvested and pooped out by raccoons that are trained to climb these cliffs. Oh, it did. It's trying to do it. Look, it's trying to do it. It's trying to put her on the moon base. Okay. So now I need more caption from this. Why is this so weak? Alright. How about we only prompt it? The problem is it's hit and miss. Oh, wait, what? Suffix. No, get rid of that. We don't need that. Another one. So we're closing in on the moon base style. It is getting there. Obviously this is unrefined. So we'll get the proper output from this one. We're just going to go, I think we're just going to have to go over time tonight, because I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, I don't know. Oh, yeah. So obviously you're going to want to do like face swapping and stuff if you want to get an actual character, but this is going to be nice to anchor your character too. Okay, look at that. It's a little bit worrying. Where's her feet? I guess they're in there somewhere. But that's actually very interesting. That came out really good. Fingers are good. Oh, we do have an additional harp finger, but I suppose that would be an advantage. Okay, nice. It's getting even better, guys. It's getting more sci-fi. Yes. See, the style that we trained was for IO Moonbase, but when you start applying image to image and you get a good input, you're going to end up producing Jodorowsky's Dune style stuff with just a little bit more LoRa and prompt engineering. It's not. Yeah, that's IO. Well, it's supposedly Moons of IO. Hang on, I can check. It might be too late. Spaceship, bold lines, colors, IO space station. So it knows IO is a moon, and it will try to draw what it thinks is IO. It's pretty cool. Okay, so now it's upscaled. Wait, oh yeah, same image. So extra finger again. That's okay. I wouldn't be surprised. How many fingers does the original have? Can you count them? Can you count the fingers? Let's take a look at this fine art right here. Let's see. Let's count them together. I'll use, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I wrong? Let's go again. Oh, you can't even read that. She's a professional, mate. That's the grip, the harp grip. It's probably like that's curled, you know? And that's a little curled. And that's elongated, so she's got a bit of a V shape there. Still looks a bit weird, but whatever. How did we do? Ooh, she's different this time. Bless it. Keeps trying to get that right, doesn't it? Okay, so this is this using Quen? No, it's not. So turn that off. Right. Put it back onto increment mode. So yeah, a lot of it is coming from this. Do you know what I mean? So I got an idea. Oh, wait. Yeah, I got an idea. Instead of using whatever we're using, this one I've disabled it, so it's just using this. Yeah. Let's try that. Shouldn't be. Oh, I see. It's just sending it through without brackets. Right. So disconnect it. Yeah. Cancel. Cancelled right at the last minute. Because it's still got too many tokens from the actual caption for the input image, which is nice because it is trying to align, but it's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to force the style as hard as I can. It was getting close. It's not messy enough. This is nice, but it's partially loaded. Oh. Unless that is it. No. It started up. Okay, fine. Let it get on with it. And now it's caught up with me. Oh, no way. It's making the prints. What a jolly photograph. Well, it's not a photo, is it? What a jolly painting it is. It's some noble's son, and he's playing Henry VIII. And doesn't he look the piece? That's a really good Henry VIII costume, dude. All he needs is the beard. Jolly little fellow. Oh, okay. It's doing something. It's kind of hit and miss, though, because it's going to say stuff like wearing an astronaut outfit and all this. The prince. Look at this dog. Oh, that's excellent. Right, leave it on. Keep going. Right, so in a minute we're going to get onto the story stuff. We're already set up. Let's just see what it does with this. That's not bad, even though it's not supposed to be doing Machine Empire stuff, but like I said, I'm pushing the model a little bit in a strange direction to get it to do what it's doing. Normally I would have it set to 0.8. Yeah, it's doing the upscale. Right. So, do you know what? Let's move the upscale up there. And that will change periodically. Put him there. I'm disappearing. Because you need the screen space. Look at that guy. Look at this guy. I hope it doesn't say woman. He's clearly the king. But anyway, it probably does. That's something you got to watch out for with the old auto captioning. But I keep saying it, so one day I'll say it enough times. So then, it's time. Book 1, we did day before yesterday. Book 2, we did yesterday. Book 3, we're doing today. These are just the pages, so I could do analysis, by the way. And they're just the enhanced pages. Now, when we talked about this yesterday, we were using a combination of Claude Projects Uno, customized with the project settings, which is the manifest of all the character, this is what I call the narrative bucket. So it's all the files that were created to make the Empire story, okay? And Empire Lore Book is my Bible, which I wrote and refined with Claude. That's where it started. Put all your ideas in. Watch yesterday's stream if you want to see the full breakdown, okay? But the point is, I put my narrative bucket in here, which is my characters, my speech styles, my world, my lore Bible, right? Everything about this universe, everything about the world in that universe, everything about the characters in that world. So you're zooming in on, and then eventually getting down to the level of the story. You also have a bunch of other things like flowcharts, JSON files, glossary. There's actually a whole bunch of extra stuff which we've got to add. So if I go into Empire, we've got some extra files now. So one of them, which we already talked about, was the story supplement, which I don't see here. Where's story supplement? Refresh the page. That's what's going on. Yeah, now I can see some extra stuff. So story supplement, right? So I had story supplement 1 loaded while I was enhancing the second book. So if we look at story supplement 1, it's a breakdown of everything that takes place in the first book. Story supplement 2 is a breakdown of everything that takes place in the second book. And so both of them get added back into the project files. So that, yeah, hang on. And there's more. Now, little tip. If you're ever oh, I can't remember because it doesn't really tell you what the version was, don't worry about it. Just take them all out. No, I know that one definitely hasn't changed. So if I now re-add them, it might be you can't add that many things at once. Yeah, hang on. Let me do it in less. No, it's just being annoying. Hang on a sec. Refresh the page. It's never done this before. Upload from device then. Fine, I'll do it the long way. We're having some drag and drop issues. There you go. Alright. Okay. So, as I say, we wrote Story Supplement 002 to include everything from the second story. Now, I wanted to do the Empire regulations. They're always quoting regulations at each other. So we made a special prompt to go over and comb through the storyline and grab out all of these different military regulations and rules. Because the thing is, what happens is, this is something I've spotted lately, right? 773, 872, 472, 972, 973, 873, 773. Why am I saying the same sequence of numbers all the time? That's what, look, 773. He keeps picking the same numbers all at 773. the bias in math is crazy. I've never noticed this until I had until I was writing fiction with, soldiers that are constantly quoting rules at each other, and they're constantly obviously they just pull numbers out of nothing, don't they? Because I haven't given it a rule book, so it's just making them up. But the funny thing is, look, it's always using the same number, 773. Because when it says 973 and 873, that's because I told him if you use the same number, change it. So what's really happening is he's using 773 all the time. Like that was 773, got changed to 8. That was 773, got changed to 8 and then to 9. That was 772 because it was 773 and he changed it to 772, and then eventually, what I'm trying to say is he's got he has a bias to the number 773. I don't know why. Never noticed it before. There's nothing in my lore that says 772 but he's just, you know what I mean? If you go through all these rules and regs, he's not going all the way around randomly. It's like there's a statistically significant emergence of the number 773 or numbers around that. You know what I mean? Those digits. Don't know why. So anyway, okay. So anyway, like I said, this is for technical accuracy. So obviously this would be, relevant to whatever storyline you're running. By the time you've gotten to the third book in the series, there's a lot of stuff you've got to track. So I'm trying to provide methods for tracking that. I'll show you the prompts for how we did this in a minute. I just want you to know what we've actually done first. Obviously, everything that's been added has been added to the Empire Project instructions. So as you can see here, story supplement and emissary. So in book 2 we introduce a new character called the emissary, and that is the assassin unit. That's aristocracy and all this. We're vibing off a bunch of cool concepts which you've seen in other mediums, right? But as a result of that, what that means is we actually have the full character sheet for this. So we have our obviously existing squad of 4. If we go down to the bottom, we have Countess, Meredith, Constance, Amberley. We've lost the pictures. Give me my... Okay. Nice hat, bro. Cool. We'll just let that cook. Okay. So it gives us a nice description, and I plan to... well, to be honest, there's not much that needs to be edited, but it's pretty good. And I will say as well, this is on the edge of what it's paying attention to, because she has quite an interesting battle record, but she plays like she doesn't. So it makes it interesting because you can't really tell. You can't tell if the AI is writing well or if it just doesn't know that. See, it's quite fun. So yeah, as I said, last thing I did, what's that? Number 773 is a prime number. Ah, they're a machine race, so everything is primes. Yeah, that makes sense, Dragon. Well done. You've just spotted it. That means it is related to my... It is my fault because I made it sci-fi and they're living machines and whatnot. So he would have assumed that machines would have a significance to prime. It makes sense. All right. Because it's all about the prime timeline and multi-dimensional war and all this. So anyway, having written both books, I thought it would be a good idea to actually define the character of the emissary clean. So make a proper document for what the unit is. Yeah, this is just the unit. All right. So this is the class, because in the original lore there is no emissary unit mentioned. Okay. So this offers a way to patch in new classes, factions, like I said, a class, right? And it's quite long, all right? And it's basically like I had a load of notes, it collected them all into like an organized format, and then we've expanded it and edited it. And You know, I've gone through and said, oh no, she's got gold filigree, you know, stuff like this. Just generally editing it, making sure her age, like all emissaries have an 8-year training. The soldiers only get like 6 months, if that. You know, stuff like that. You know, there's all kinds of stuff in here. So much backstory and everything. And this is partly this is count-assembly, partly because look, it does say her, but it's supposed to be like a general definition of the class. See, here's her service record. It's crazy. It came up with this insane service record. But anyway, the point is, it's all there, right? Now, we also did the Countess herself. So this is just her description, yeah? This is just her description. And like I said, you got 2 opportunities for human in loop here. One at the prompt engineering. So you're customizing the prompt, you're choosing what that's going to be, right? And then at the other end of it, you're editing the output because you're going to be passing that into another process or using it again and again, like retrieval augment. So obviously what you'll want to do is you'll want to just, you know, check, say, yeah, this is good. We're going to go ahead with this, right? And as you can see, hand unconsciously brushes concealed weapons during tactical considerations. There's so many things in here that it can draw from, and they're all 100%. And what I'm planning on doing actually is taking the style Laura and then taking this document on the character and then generating a prompt list to describe the character, synth of the character, and then train a character model, you know, for the character. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you've got a process to self-generate inside your own style, so you can extend it later. You don't have to have baked everything in, you know, from the outset. Right. So that pretty much brings us up to date with book 1 and book 2 without spoiling anything and everything else. I'm going to put Count-Assembly in the Empire folder, but it's not actually in the project instructions. So what do we do? Well, I'm going to copy the file name. I'm going to go in. So how I can see it. It's not showing me the beginning of the line. Oh no, it is actually. I'm just being an idiot. Right. So under emissary, like that. Detailed description and service record for Countess Amberly. Okay. Detailed visual description. Okay. So again, that's how easy it is. You just add the line and save the text file, because the prompts will contain a call out to this. And as long as your AI actually, you know, it is possible to make these documents too long, too many characters, too much world information, too much support, and then fill up the window, right? It is possible to do that. And I must admit, by the time I've written 2 books and everything, yeah, when you're at the end of writing the book, it does get to the point where it's like, introduce a new class to the story. Oh my god, that was ages ago. Right, so I don't even have a recent prompt I can show you on this machine. These are very Mobian. It's getting there. It still needs a bit of work, but it is definitely getting there. So this is the outpost model, and we're doing image to image with 19th century oil paintings. Look at that. I love the trainers, the bowling shoes. That's a nice touch. But this is pretty good. Obviously we need to do a lot of in-painting to sort out things, but yeah, it's easy to clean stuff up. So I think what I'm going to do is stop this. Yeah, it's just upscaling the last one. Alright. And then there's something I need to do, which is grab a workflow from... I'm going to grab that one. And let's see, I think... So these came out the other day, don't miss. Okay, let's just... It can't all be image to image, can it? Surely. Yeah, it can. What the heck was that? Okay. Let me just grab a workflow here real quick. Image to image, image to image, image. It's all image to image. Image to image. Image to image, and there we go. We got, at least we got a, oh my goodness, it works again? You can drag stuff in again? Right, okay, I can't keep track of it, man. Some of the stuff, like, that's been broken for about a month. So that works now. So now you can just drag a workflow in again, which was a cool feature. Okay, glad to see it return. If you maybe you didn't even notice it was gone. Okay. So let's do outpost. I just want to do pure outpost. None of this control net image to image nonsense. Just pure outpost. And it's O-U-T. Oh my god, man. Come on. There. 17. Turn that one. Delete that one. There. Good. Yes. Yes. No. O-U-T. 0. Okay. Yes. 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 12 and 1. I think maybe I need to boost it, but let's give it a blast and see what happens. Get that upscaler on. 8, 10, or 0.1. Boost 1. Could probably do with increasing that. Boost it. Boost it up. Okay. Here we go. That's more like it. So we're going to do a thing here, guys. Normally I make in 16 to 9, but we're going to make a bunch in 9 to 16, and there'll be a reason for that. So, yep. So this should be interesting. I should probably change this to 1.5, because then it will be just 1080p. But it's fine. It's fine. It'll just squish down to 1080 and then that's also fine. Look at that. When you're not messing around and just doing what I actually trained, it's pretty solid, guys. These are really encouraging results. They're actually stirring about in the blue stuff. They're wearing protective gear. I don't know how consistent the gear is going to be, because this is just style. But yeah, the human in the loop in the training process is very simply, you curate the images for training and caption them. You then pull out images that caused problems. When you see the results, you'll see there will be certain prompts that cause bad results. Pull those images or change those prompts. Be stricter or expand the data set in directions you want it to learn, but then take away. So simplification and expansion with like focus on the goal. More clearly defined examples, better samples, right? This is how you can improve the data set. But this is the initial style data set, so we're not looking for like consistent uniforms or anything like that right now. That comes with the characters model that we run at the same time. This is purely the look, which is it's what was trained. In fact, it's better than what was trained because I deliberately trained it a bit messy. Because what I've learned is that Flux ignores the mess to a certain extent. And I do want to retrain this model with a different dimension alpha. Because I've been experimenting with upping the alpha. Damn, when you look at the final upscale, that's crisp. Wow. Super crisp. What's the next one? Okay. It's a little bit of a strange proportion, but we are doing 9:16. I don't think there's a single sample at 9:16. I did want there to be a bias for metal-plated helmets. That's about the only thing I've tried to introduce. But there are different sets right now. Right now we're in the lab set, as you might have guessed. Damn, that's a huge image. Right. Yes. That's the level of fidelity I've been looking for. It's the same level of detail as Thora, but it's not anime necessarily, yeah? So more graphic novel style. That's what I was trying to go for. Such a weird position. Okay, so let's put them over there. Let's get back to the writing stuff. Okay. So we're going to go through some prompts. That's a bit too photographic for my liking, but maybe it's just me. Oh no, it's just me. It just looks photographic because it's just really good digital art. Okay, and we go back. So, like I said, updated my project instructions and extracted all that good stuff, added all those things. What I've started doing is compressing the pages into .zip so that they can still stay in the project, but they won't be read by Cloud because he doesn't know how to read a compressed file, so I can still keep it all together. You don't even really need them in that folder now. What's this? Book 2 Una. What? Delete that. Delete that. Delete that. Okay. So now we've got my project instructions, my plan, which we're going to get into in a minute, and we've got these stories. Okay. Can we just take these out now? There we go. So story is now empty. Story is now empty. Okay. Close that. Right, so in plan, we're going to look at the book 3 plan. Where is it? There it is. Plan book 3. I should probably rename that. But yeah, here is the last page prompt which I used. I think you probably saw me typing this one out yesterday on live. So as you can see, this is the rough overlay of... I may have done it after the stream ended, I don't quite remember. But I don't want to, like, you know, hang on this. This is like... Use project instructions, create final page of the stories. We're creating the last page, and I'm telling it what's going to happen in the last page within the Empire lore book and the Empire project instructions and the supplementary, which is what just happened, you know, so it's aware of the previous book. Okay. So we give it a new environment, a new threat, and a new character to join the team. That's what book 2 was. Book 3 is going to play with the mechanics that we've established in the first 2 books a little bit. Oh, that's cool. I like that. And so, obviously, we did book 2. There's the Claude plan for writing the book, Operation Dreadfall. Okay, and this is the plan that Claude had, right? That's my original prompt for book 1. Here's my book 2. So obviously, after we've written that page, we use this prompt. That's the page we wrote with the previous prompt. So project instructions, page 5, story supplement, so it knows about book 1. And then it goes ahead and it writes book 2. Then we up each page with this. And then at the end of that... Oh, wow, these images are coming out great. And then when we get to the end of the story, what we do is we do the summary. So supplementary, we do this, but 02, and obviously it's the book 2 inside the story folder now, right? So we summarize, and then that gives us where is it? Am I blind? Story supplement 002. Where is it? Oh yeah, it's in Empire, of course it is. So story supplement 2 tells the story of book 2, right? So now we've got, like, you know, the ability to give the agent the awareness of those previous both books. So this is when I started, like, saying, oh, can we update things? So I updated the regulations book. I thought that was more important because they're constantly quoting from that thing. And obviously the easiest thing to do is whenever it finds a conflict, rename it, search for the number and change it in your draft. It's the easiest thing to do. I did think about automating it, but here's the thing. I've deleted all of the pages now, haven't I? If I had a page to show you, well, you saw yesterday, one page might be 12 pages, so, you know, it's quite a lot to shove in his face just to change one number. It's much better to just search for the number and change it, honestly, because it's like, it takes him he has to read the entire thing to find that number and change it. So it's like costly in time and tokens. So little jobs like that, I'd say make me a list of the numbers that need changing and tell me what to change them to in a little file, and he'll go brr, you know. And then you can do the changing part. Like replacing file isn't reliable enough. Sometimes it fails, and if you're unlucky, he'll have to write out the entire page again, and that can be very costly. Do you know what I mean? Just to change 772 to 872, you don't need to spend $1 on an entire page. That's silly. But it's easy to do. Right. So here's my Uno custom. Please use Uno to think deeply about enhancing a single chapter from my book. Use Empire Project instructions for the world, character and speech references. When expanding descriptions or lore, draw from Empire Lorebook for accurate details. Without revealing secret knowledge or details the soldier should not know about from their perspective beyond character experience, adhere to Uno processing guidelines. This is obviously a system prompt for an agent, but the beauty is it's been customized with all of our bucket files. Okay. Right, so what else have we not shown you yet? So we've done the last page. We did here's the emissary character update, look. Now remember, this is taken from the unenhanced. Oh no, it's not. This is taken from the enhanced. So these are too long to process. Only a single page at a time. It still got confused. So it likes to do things early on. It doesn't like to do them later. This is like shoving raisins in the cake after you baked it again. You kind of have to get on top of that early in the baking process. Or earlier. It's just me throwing raisins at a baked cake. It's not working, right? So that's how we wrote count assembly. And the idea is we could write one of these for every character. I'm not going to do that because I think it's a bit too heavy. But I think in the future, when the LLMs can juggle a little bit more, it's going to be like turbo superpowers. But let's take another look. Regs prompt, book 2 prompt, emissary class. We've done all of that. The book 3 prompt is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to start that in a minute. I'm just trying to think, is there anything which I've missed? Because there's so many things here. Because we're going to be doing last page prompt book 3 first. But I've got plan book 3 here. So how about I just rename it to that and then start to incorporate this into this. And I'm going to read you what I've got so far. I still need to make some changes. I need to grab a name real quick. Where is he? Characters. So I need to kill Thomas Cogsworth. He's gonna die. But don't worry, he's a machine. We can rebuild him. This is how he's gonna get his first promotion. Because I think he could go up from private. He's been on. It'll be his 3rd campaign, and he's gonna be a hero. So, Private Thomas Cogsworth is gonna die. And we might make. Yeah. We're gonna make. Yeah. Hold up. Where are we? Can't see the images again. We have the technology. We can rebuild him. There we go. Following the events of Book 2, our squad is charged with a special mission pivotal to an ongoing invasion currently in stalemate. I'm going to have to say, in another dimension. I'll put just brackets. I want to make sure that's clear. The evident and unexpected advanced deployment of nuclear weapons has forced the Empire to consider more radical strategies. Initial efforts installing dimensional anchors failed due to heavy fortifications at each location. I would say heavy fortifications, I would say due to fortresses. Large, massive fortress bunkers. Yes, at each location. 3 anchors have been installed, but at heavy cost. With heavy cost. Empire forces are subject to regular nuclear bombardments. In other words, they found a world that's actually fighting back. Yeah. In line with protocols for such engagements, dreadnoughts were impacted. Okay. Upon dimensional jump completion, dreadnoughts were impacted into local subterranean chambers, mitigating atomic bombardment. Yeah, let's go with that. See, the thing is that the ships can actually tank a nuclear strike, but it will take them down. So what they've done is grounded them hard, and then used that as a base to launch offensives. That's the idea. It just turns into a forward operating base. Imperial tunnel machines are the primary insertion method, so they're going to bore. They're going to use boring. Ah, yeah, boring machines. Primary insertion method to these fortresses. There will be a focus on tunnel exploration and combat. The enemy will try using gas attacks. They will be ineffective. Immediately following dimensional jump, dreadnought immediately surveys the surface and immediate facility. Immediate. See, I repeat myself. The dreadnought will survey the surface in the immediate vicinity, identifying underground regions quickly accessible by blast diving. Blast diving is a method for a dreadnought to tunnel underground, completely burying the ship at considerable depth. This is a high-speed move. High-speed? Move? Because it's an aggressive landing. It's an aggressive landing pattern, guys. As in, they bury it in the ground. They blow up the ground as they land, and because it's just so big. This thing's so big, it doesn't matter. Anyway, while this cannot protect from direct strikes, near misses are rendered ineffective. And then we get into the... Okay, so this is now the bit that I've been working on. Did I talk about how somebody died yet? No, not yet. Fourth member of the squad, so that would be our buddy, Private Nobles. He's actually not, like... Private Johnny 5. Where is he? Private Cogsworth. That's the one. Private Cogsworth. Private Cogsworth. And we haven't figured out, I haven't hammered out how he dies yet, but he is killed. Okay, major plot point of this book is the emissary Countess Amberley and her execution of the Temporal Pincer. So we've looked in the lore about how they use recursion in this. It's science fiction, obviously. We're having fun. So the Temporal Pincer, yeah, Tenet. We mentioned it yesterday. I thought I was going to do it. We're doing it. And you know what? You can read book 2 backwards. You can actually read it chapter by chapter in reverse, and it was written to read both ways. So that's going to be fun when it comes out. At the execution of the mission, she will use advanced recursion strategy known as Temporal Pincer from Tenet, the movie. Because the thing is, I would like the way we write this is inspired by Memento, which is a Christopher Nolan movie. Who did... Oh, Tenet is also Christopher Nolan. Anyway. Yeah, the coffee is getting cold, but... It's too late to be drinking more coffee now. Okay. So let's get to it, guys. So, Temporal Pincer, right? Now, this is fun, because I've always wanted to write a silly story like this. But I've never had a world to do it in, and in 3 days, we've constructed a world so I can do it. The soldiers will be travelling forwards from the past to the rendezvous, while the emissary is deployed to the future, inverting her local flow of time to effectively travel backwards. Don't ask me, ask Christopher Nolan. It was his idea. He gave me these silly ideas. Recursive temporal manipulation has limitations, but then I've given it lots of science fiction stuff to go with it, right? I'm not just like, oh, it just works, which is cool, you know, show don't tell, right? That's what they say. But this is text, so we kind of have to tell to a certain extent. So, temporal manipulation has limitations. Only possible in a local area of effect, and it consumes dimension crystals. Now, look, I don't like dimension crystals because they're an obvious, you know, green rocks. You know what I mean? It's a lazy thing. I like hard sci-fi, but I wanted to do this quickly. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is all supposed to be a demonstration of what you can do. I'm not supposed to be showing off here. So that's why I'm having fun with it. But it's kind of like, I don't like dimension crystals. It's like black goo, green rocks, and, you know, magical pixie dust it may as well be, right? So I'll be real. As a writer, if this was like, if I wanted to commit to this seriously, I'd be like, we got to figure this out. Do you know what I mean? It's got to be like plutonium-327, a rare isotope only found in certain dimensions. Like, that would be better than dimension crystals. You see what I mean? Even that, you know, anything is better than this. But the concept is sound, and it's a search replace to change it from, you know, dimension crystal is easy to find. So if the AI wants to call it dimension crystal, and that works in the story, it's fine. You can change it to unobtainium-ite anytime you want, right? With search replace, easy. Don't need AI for that, right? So I don't like waste time over those details. There's an anime called The Abyss where they had these meat cartridges that get ejected. Actually, it's genuinely shocking stuff, but I like the idea and the aesthetic of having that ejection. Like how, you know, you change the clip in a gun or whatever. And I like the idea of the, you know, the rail gun that's overheated, and when you eject the cartridge, it's like steaming. But I thought, instead of it overheating, what about if, because you've just put so much energy into this thing for it to do what it does, when you eject it, it actually freezes. So it's like it super cools as soon as you take it out, right? I thought that would be cool. So it doesn't overheat, it overcools. And that's why you have to eject it, because it will freeze the entire system if you... I don't know. I'm just trying to add some, like, whoa, you know what I mean? It makes it like action drama, right? Anyway, so this effect can be maintained indefinitely by expending cartridges to fuel the system. So if she has enough cartridges, she can do her Tenet thing. But it's not like unlimited forever. It doesn't actually reverse time, you know? You could even say that it's some kind of psychic effect. So it's like a local thing that takes place with... But I don't want to define it. I'll leave it at where it is. It's nice how it is. Basically, she can do Tenet. You know what I mean? I'm just going to call it that. She can do Tenet. Next book will introduce Keanu Reeves. You know what I mean? Like, we're trying to be fun with this. Yeah? Because it is like an educational exercise. These books are supposed to be an example of what you can achieve with the minimal level of understanding, and then obviously you take it beyond with time and your own ideas. So, okay, so we talk about the temporal manipulation, we talk about the restrictions, so there's some laws. I like there being some rules. Private Thomas Cogsworth is killed just before the rendezvous. During the final battle, his engram crystal is retrieved by the emissary, because he's going to get a battlefield promotion, right? Can't spell retrieve to save my life. By the emissary before they make their escape. I was gonna define how he dies, but I'm gonna just say he dies and let the AI figure it out, because obviously there's a lot of moving parts. It's nice to give it some wiggle room. Here is a breakdown of the temporal pincer. Pardon me. If you haven't seen Tenet, this bit will make sense. This will help you. So, you like to break things and do things your own way, says Dragon Diffusion. You like rules? I just mean in the context of, you know, your story. Parameters. Let's say that. I like parameters. Yeah. But yeah, I definitely like to break everything. Hey, where are my images at? There we go. What's this? Okay, the images are actually very nice. So we're just going to let that cook and go back. Okay. So, temporal pincer movement is a tactical strategy involving two groups of people, one moving forward in time and the other backward. The group moving backward, blue team, plans an action based on information received from the group moving backwards, red team, which has already experienced the event. This creates a loop where future events influence actions in the past and past actions affect future events. Here's a more detailed breakdown. Two teams. Concept of two teams. Blue team and red team. So the blue team is the soldiers, red team is the emissary. Red team moves backward in time, experiencing events in reverse. Emissary, assassin. Blue team moves forward, a squad of soldiers, experiencing them normally. They're going to rendezvous in the middle at the climax and then extract. It's going to be cool. That's the idea. That's what I'm trying to set the stage for. So time inversion. The red team moves backwards, experiencing... Wait, I've already read that part, haven't I? Yeah. So information exchange. This is the bit that makes it interesting. So the red team, the emissary, has already experienced the future. So when she comes back, she can say, oh, I know X, Y, and Z. And then the blue team can be like, oh, cool. Mission complete then. Because I'm going to have it set up. She will have set a load of bombs. She knows where everyone's going to be. The blue team will show up and it's like, well, we just detonate this thing and go home. It's kind of a bit of a joke. Because of the time travel, it's overpowered, right? It's not really time travel, but it kind of is for one person. We're having fun with it, like I say. So, information exchange. The red team, having already experienced the event, can provide information about the future to the blue team. That's the point. That's the crux of it. The looping effect. The knowledge gained by red team is then used by the blue team to plan their actions in the past, creating a loop where future and past influence each other. And the real world analogy just puts it like, oh, it's a pincer movement, but in time. If you haven't seen, check it out. It's a cool movie. Right, so this is just more reinforcements of what that is. So, unknown to the enemy, the emissary unit has the ability to play the role of the red team in this temporal pincer movement, with the only requirement she is deployed to the future using an offset dimensional jump. So in other words, she gets delivered in the future and travels back, and then the other guys, they get delivered, and yeah, so there. So yeah, we're gonna break the flow of time this time, Dragon. That's what we're gonna do. So while the emissary is inverted, she's able to move backwards to the rendezvous with her squad. This will culminate in the detonation of charges planted clandestinely by the emissary in line with her objectives. The resulting chain reaction will eliminate remaining enemy forces, allowing installation of the final anchor. And then here we go. Using the Empire project, we can create the final page in a story, which is the end of a hero's journey, where the hero is the second in command, Sergeant Coppergear, while Colonel Sterling has adjusted. Right, so here we go. While Colonel here we go. Colonel Sterling Ironside is charged with leading charged with, he's got to leading his squad to rendezvous with their emissary unit, or they're attached. They're technically part of the squad, but whatever. Okay. Following the previous campaign, and that'll be 2 now, the squad was given a new mission running distraction operations. So this isn't, we've got to rewrite this. We've got to rewrite all of this. Yeah, this is all for the last book. Okay, so this is not correct. Squad was giving a new mission. Okay. Okay. Assist the emissary in breaking through enemy defenses on a fortress dimension. Nightmare. The squad was given a new mission: assist the emissary in breaking through enemy defenses. I don't want to say at. It's like located in a stalemated invasion. Yes, dimensional invasion. Stalemated dimensional invasion. Everyone's dug in. So the only way is to like break in, bury the ship, and dig there. So let's move some of this stuff. Because a lot of it here is following the events of book 2. I'm going to move all of it. Yeah, all of that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, all of that stuff. Change the ordering a bit. Need to move all that stuff down to... Where's it gone? I had a beautiful place to put it. Ah, here we go. Put that there. Just having a little read. I just basically got to get it in the right order so I can run it, because I want to use this to make the last prompt. And what I'm doing is each time I'm adding more and more information to see how much we can get away with, basically. Execution of the temporal pincer. Elite unit, she's head ahead. Temporal manipulation has limits. Okay, so we have to take this away because it's not really, do you know what I mean? We're still talking about temporal pincer here. So I'll put that right down the bottom. Like there. Okay. He will receive a promotion. He will receive his first, his first post, isn't it posthumous? I don't want to say posthumous. Hang on. Posthumous. It means after you died. Okay. Posthumous. Post, it's one word. Posthumous field promotion. Yes. For his heroic death, I guess. Cool. He's going to take one for the team and get promoted from private. But he's only a robot, so it's not no worries. Soldiers will often remark, last option, yeah, having secured this dimension. Having secured the dimension, exploitation begins in earnest. Soldiers leave, earn some. Soldiers earn some leave. Lawbook. Story supplement, project instructions. I mean, I think this is looking good now. Alright. I'm ready to launch. Okay. While it's writing, let's have a look at some of these outputs. Yeah, these are going to be very good for illustrating moon base style stories. I think this is good enough. It's in, because the thing is, this is like a lot of the stuff I make. When you look at cyber society, you'll see the same sort of influences in the line work, and I think it's just my preference bearing out in the average, to be honest. I don't know, because if you look at Thora and then you look at this, it's quite similar, but it's completely different subject matter. That really is quite good. Okay, because like I said, a lot can be done with this. A lot can be done with that. It's such a great starting point. Right, what else? What else? What else? We've got other things we need to test. Hang on. Run. Stop. Stop, 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 stop. So, the other models that we need to try. So we've looked at Outpost, and I have many other epochs I need to try out there. Should probably try Reynolds. Do I even have... Oh, I've got the prompts, actually, for Reynolds in an image prompt thing. So I don't think they're in here yet. No shortcuts. See, this is the problem. I could adapt and improve around it and then not even do it. But that's no good for everybody else. So let's do it right. I need to go to the Reynolds data set. What the? Windows. Drunk again. Okay. So if I say here R3YNOLDS start. And I don't think I have to do anything else. It's just turning it into a prompt list. There we go, yeah. So if you'll notice, I've captioned it video for a reason, because I plan on training this as a video model. Why not? So let's see, captions, Reynolds style. It's going to be compressed to zip for Civet, even though we haven't even tested it yet. Copy that. Got to put it into DJZ nodes. I think actually. Yes. Wait a minute. That's done. Let's duplicate and go custom node DJZ prompts. Paste it in there. And that's done. Okay. So, ooh, spicy. Where's the thing I was using now? Because it's not that one. This one? Yeah, right. So, R. Ah! I forgot to even put the LoRa's there, didn't I? What? I guess I never even downloaded them yet. It's weird. Normally I'm like hot on that. Wait a minute. It's downloading stuff to weird places. Where have you put them? Yeah, where are they? Where are they? Come on. What? Removed? Removed. Removed. See? Where is it? Did I copy it into the wrong folder or something stupid? It's got to be something like that. There's Reynolds style. It should be at the top as well, yeah. Okay, I've got them already, I guess. Right. A Reynolds. Go for number 9. Reynolds. Ray R3. Oh, okay. So I guess I just wrote it right this time. No, nothing. Yeah. Oh man, this is that's really something. So it's making me go in there again, even though I was just there and I closed it, because it's right there. Comfy's gaslighting me right now. Go away, Comfy. Stop being ridiculous. Nobody likes you. Now we've lost everything. R-E-Y. Finally. My God, man. I don't know why that was so difficult. Yeah, we'll go with 9 to 16. Why not? It'll probably look weird. It's an extreme aspect ratio. So, back to the writing while it's preparing my images. keep an eye on it. So, oh crumbs! Look, it's like you get 1 pixel to do the width of it. Look, you get like 1 pixel. Okay, so here we go. It reads all the stuff. Based on the material I've reviewed, I have a clear understanding of the task, creating the final page of Book 3 that depicts the dramatic execution of the Temporal Pincer. Mind you, the Temporal Pincer shouldn't be happening on the last page. It should have already happened. I think I'm starting to see how I'm managing to get so much story out of this. It's because I'm telling it what to do in the whole story at the same time as telling it what to put on the last page. And so he's dosing up the last page with so much stuff that it's like the final chapter of the book basically is like a readme in tins. Yeah? So it's like the last page of the story actually contains seeds of everything that it's going to write about going all the way to the start of the story. And the interesting thing is that I've said that it starts at the end of the last story, so now it's actually going from B to A. It's not just going from B backwards with a rough framework. It's actually got a point that it's aiming for now. Okay, show Countess Amberley emerging from inverted time and meeting the squad. Depict physical effects of a time inversion. Showcase knowledge of events that haven't happened yet from the squad's perspective. Create a meaningful death scene just before the rendezvous. Show the emissary retrieving his engram crystal. Again, engram crystal. Man, we need to make it like a cyber SSD or something. Just need to get rid of the crystals. Like if you're gonna do crystals, it's got to make sense. Like this is an exotic crystal which exists or something. You know, like but otherwise it's like Superman, right? Oh, it's kryptonite. You know, it's kind of lazy. Yeah, kryptonite. What does kryptonite do? Kryptonite actually takes their superpowers away. Huh? Includes posthumous field promotion. Yeah. Copper Gear is the hero. She's the tactical linchpin. Her adaptability, centuries of experience, moments of leadership. Final anchor installation. So they need to put these anchors in each dimension to pin them to the Empire, basically, is what it is. It's a little bit like Necron pylons in Warhammer 40k, you could say. A little bit. But not really. It's more like... Anyway, I don't want to get into that. It's like lore for a completely different thing. Final anchor installation. Depict detonation charges. Shows successful installation of the anchor. Include defeat of the forces. End with a sense of victory. Reference the Empire's expansion. Sentiment, they are liberators. Stylistic approach. Stylistic distinct speech patterns. Yep. Self-corrections. Poor old Cogsworth's going to take one for the team. Countess Amberley. Cultured precision with aristocratic elegance. Narrative will be immersive and action-oriented, capturing the climactic finale of this mission with the appropriate tension and resolution. I'll incorporate the mechanic-centric terminology and unique concepts of the Empire universe, including dimension crystals, recursion cartridges, temporal physics that make the pincer movement possible. There's nothing else I have to add. It's the final page. It worked. So I've already saved it. See, this is the habit I've been getting into lately, guys, is making a plan folder and saving all of the prompts I used in there, right? So that when I come back to it, I might start numbering them as well by stages so that it's like more obvious what happened in what order. So you don't need 4 hours of live stream to figure out the craziness. But hey, crazy results, you know? So why aren't you on forever? On forever. More images, please. Okay. So, this is just the last page. I still have to write the setup prompt for the actual book. Here we go. So let me just check what he actually read for this. Emissary, law book, world, speech style, characters. It's not bad. And now he's writing final page book 3.md. The final anchor. There's never one. It's like Zenkai. It's always the final. Oh my. It's not bad. It's not bad. That is funny though. I wonder why he's like he's got his, I don't know. Right, we're not upscaling that. Come on. He almost finished it. Oh, dear. Oh. The tunnel walls shook as another nuclear strike impacted the surface kilometers above. Dust and small debris cascaded from the ceiling, dancing through beams of light from the squad's shoulder-mounted illuminators. Sick. See, it's like a change of pace, you know? It's all underground now. It's all tunnels and stuff. Because they keep nuking everything. Whoever lives in this dimension is just like, you know, they don't want to lose their dimension, I guess. Wow, that's a really good picture. I hope that one upscales well. See, instead of using oil paintings, I might use my synth paintings because they're just as good. Put them through the Empire treatment. Yeah. It all works, you know? Hell yeah. It's like Mary Poppins, but in like red. Which is law-friendly colours. Law-friendly. Okay, so obviously we're going to take this last page, copy it, and do what we do every time, which is... Oh, in fact, hang on a minute. Okay, so yeah. Copy it, make a new file, call it page5.txt. Okay. Take the final page, put it in the plan section, and... where's the plan? There's the plan. It's that one. I'm going to have to use this to modify a new book prompt. So now we need book prompt. So I'll duplicate that and call it book 3 prompt. And then we'll just modify that. So, get rid of book 2. Right, so now we've got the last page that we generated our final page of our new book 3. Everything's in there. So now what I have to do is I essentially have to just make sure that all that information is also in here. So let's just make sure it's up to date. So that's correct. That's correct. That's correct. Yeah, that's all correct. Obviously we need to change this to 2 because we're on book 3 now. Okay, and then I need to get rid of the customization. So squad was given a new mission. Right, it's going to be from here. Yeah, that, it's from there. So this is where the new stuff goes. So if I just go to my last page, if you remember, it's mostly... in fact, let's just copy the whole thing because I don't want to edit it by accident. So just copy the whole thing. I'll just copy the whole thing. I'll put a little thing in so I know, you know, what I'm doing. Okay, so soldiers will often remark in line with so that's actually already taken care of. So I don't need to worry about that. Right, so then we need to get rid of the stuff which has got anything to do with, you know, making the last page of the story, because we're not doing that now. We've already done that. Where's the prompt start? Unknown to the enemy. Ah, here we go. Using the Empire project instructions, we can create... It's like some of this is actually fine. Most of it is actually fine. Nightmare. So hang on, get rid of that. Man, if it can figure out my cat's breakfast, this is... I'm just like, oh, just looking at my work like, oh, what? Because technically the prompt we used to make the last page is just going to get dropped. It's forgotten. It's no longer involved in this process. So we kind of have to make sure we included all of the same information is what I'm doing. I'm just trying to explain what I'm doing, you know, because sometimes it's not that obvious. Just scrolling up and down the same piece of text is what it looks like. But this is actually a super complex prompt with a load of like dimensional stacking. So we've got the previous book. We have the project instructions. Ah, yeah. Using the project. Okay, so we don't need the... Yeah, we don't need... We've already done all that, haven't we? Right. Hero's journey in reverse. Yeah, and then I give a load of... So this is all extra. Because remember, I kept telling everyone, you know, you can... Oh, wow, look at that haircut. That's crazy. I kept telling everyone you can customize and add all these crazy extra ideas and dose the book before you even start writing it. That's obviously. Unknown. Okay, I think I'm just going to go... The hero is... The hero in the hero's journey is Sergeant Coppergear again. That's cool. Assist the emissary. Following the events of Book 2. This is all like the same. This is all the same thing here. Initial efforts installing failed. Fortress bunkers, nuclear bombardment, boring machines, blast diving, burying the ship. With the ship buried, subterranean. Subterranean? Subterranean. Subterranean incursions are begun. Undertaken. I can't. You got any other words that mean underground? Underground. The underground incursions. No, that's the same thing there. That's the same thing. He's killed. All right. I think I'm ready. It took ages to get set up, but I think I'm ready. Cool. Most of it is just because I'm explaining everything, but to be fair, I had left some of it to be done so I could show you the process live. That's my idea. Alright, so yeah, take this, new prompt, get rid of that, plan mode, drop it in, let's just make sure it's not a bunch of dog doo-doo. Project instructions, page 5, project instructions, page 0, 6 pages. Obviously, page 4 is back, before page 5. Okay, writing it backwards. Story supplement, so it understands new mission. Major plot focus is the emissary and her temporal pincer. That's the whole point I'm playing with in this one, is the temporal pincer. I want to see if we can pull it off, because it is quite a hard thing to figure out, like, plot-wise. And so we're kind of just going to let Claude take the wheel in a minute. And then I'm going to grab a drink. Half an hour late. Wow, look at that, the little prince. God damn. See, I want to have a new character like the prince, because you've got this mechanical empress, and I thought it would be cool if there was like some kind of French court lineage thing that they've got going on, even though they're emulating Britain. I think it would be interesting. Some really interesting traditional portraits going on here. Hands are a bit iffy. Man, look at this with the dog. It's so good. Oh dear. Genuinely surprising sometimes, the results you get. I know you guys are probably familiar, as a lot of you are model trainers, but it never doesn't surprise you, no matter how many models you make. And that's probably the biggest joy in all this stuff. Okay. Private Cogsworth gets killed. No! Okay, let's go. Hopefully this doesn't break, because it is possible that I ask for too much. Dragon Diffusion says nuclear means opportunity for women with 6 fingers and 3 arms, so all generations will work. Oh, like the Toxic Avenger. Right, temporal regression analysis. Look at this. Oh boy. Look at this. Key events that must be set up, character positions and relationships, plot threads that need development, technological elements that need introducing, enemy movements and strategic positioning. And then we're going to do the hero's journey in reverse. So, return with the elixir, mission complete. Road back, challenges during retreat. Resurrection, major confrontation with enemy. The ordeal, infiltration, first major obstacle. Tests, allies, enemies, deployment, initial engagement. Call to adventure, refusal, crossing, threshold, which is mission briefing and dimensional jumps. Makes sense. It all makes sense. It just fits. Character arc, reverse engineering. We'll track backward development for Sergeant Coppergear. Because remember, it's funny. When you write it backwards, the squad starts off like the perfect fighting unit that just win. And then you go back a chapter and there's a little bit more cohesion. And then you go back a chapter and one of the characters doesn't like the other one. And then you go back a character and they don't really know each other very well. And then you go back again and they've just met. So it's like you do it in reverse. So you kind of do everything backwards. It's so much easier. It's so much easier to do, because you actually start off in a perfect state and then take stuff away. And then when you read it forwards, it reads the opposite way round, and now all of these things are being resolved and now they've become this team, but yeah. So anyway, Countess Amberley tracking her inverted timeline separately. That's interesting. Private Cogsworth building towards his heroic sacrifice. So the main character's perspective will be side. That's why I said the hero is this, because that kind of defines who the viewpoint character will be. In book 1, it was the colonel. Book 2, it was the sergeant. Book 3, it's the sergeant. Book 4 might be colonel again. Might even do one for Private Cogsworth, because he's going to get reincarnated, essentially. We haven't done anything with Lieutenant Brass, and that's because he's too geeky. If I did a focus with this guy, he'd be like, oh my god, the technical 23% chances of... And it's like, guy, he's like the nerd. He's Donatello. In my mind, they're just Ninja Turtles with this is April O'Neil. No, the Countess is basically April O'Neil, and they're the Ninja Turtles. So that's the secret. You've just got to keep a parallel in your head. And then, like, customize everything. So they're not actually those 4 guys. It's just easy to think about, oh, you've got the dynamics of the different personalities and how that interacts. It's going to be the same thing for the Power Rangers or any 4-person team, really. Right. Imperial timeline construction will establish a clear timeline of the squad's forward movement through time, the Countess's backward movement through time, the enemy defensive actions, and the key moments of temporal convergence. Technical consistency management will maintain consistent representation of temporal mechanics and recursion cartridges. Okay, I think you get the idea. So, review subsequent page, extract precursors, apply appropriate hero's journey stage, consult Imperial documentation, craft consistent character voices, ensure temporal mechanic coherence, position characters appropriately for the next page, and introduce plot elements that will resolve in subsequent pages. So, what I'll have to do here, of course, is get book 2 prompt, copy paste, replace the name, and this is going to be book 3 prompt. Oh wait, no it doesn't. Oh yeah, it does. Okay, book 3 Claude plan, sorry. Yes. I started keeping them too. Go. Right. Send it. Oh, people are talking. Sorry, guys. Dragon Diffusion, April O'Neil, my first childhood crush. Can we peek our favourites? Which peak do you want there? I never stopped loving redheads since then. Indeed, indeed. So yeah, I mean, have I got any more training done since we started this? I feel like I've actually finished the training. Yeah, we got the last epoch on Keaton style. Ah, now that's way better. This car is broken. Yeah, we're definitely going to take a copy of that. I'm not quite sure why it's still making those, but I'm guessing it's because there was one image in the data set with a woman on the bed, you know? Because that's the thing, it's a Victorian thing. They used to do images like these. Oh well. I'll just wait for it to turn into something else. It's the only annoying thing about Comfy. Get scanned. Can we close it? Yeah, we can close it. Right. It's not even really like. Okay. In fact, let's just stop that. I would like to have a look at some of the outputs. Let's see. Comfy output. Folder, outpost, empire. Right, so not that one, this one. So this is some of the concept stuff. Some of these came out really well, others did not come out quite so well. And I think it's a case of just curating with this style. It's like some of them come out worse than others. This is good. That's excellent. Then I think all it is just keep generating until you get the winners. And the best ones get kept and the worst ones get dropped. Simple as. Look, it's even got a blockhead. It really actually tried to make a bucket head. Some of them are just a complete mess because obviously the prompt didn't match what it was. It's like a luck thing, you know. But I like that. Scratchy. It's scratchy. And like cracked, like an oil painting would be. Page 3. Yeah, it's like Renaissance vibes. Yeah. Pick Donatello so they have a smarter leader. Yeah, their current leader is the way. Yeah, if to run the parallel, the leader right now is a Leonardo. The second in command is a Michelangelo, but it's a chick, so she's not the hothead that Michelangelo was, but she's still got some attitude, right? And then the two recruits are basically your nerdy Donatello, which is the one I haven't developed much. And then, like I said, this private guy he's your Raphael, not Raphael. I got him mixed around. Yeah, I got him mixed around. whatever. I think you get the point. It's like the same archetypes, you know what I mean? Like, in fact, if you ever want to have some fun, guys, now, I appreciate a lot of you guys know about it, but if you don't know about it, you're about to go down a rabbit hole. This is tvtropes.org. It's extremely famous, and you might put in here, like, a famous trope, like wench, wrench, and then it's going to show me the TV trope of the wench wrench. Okay. The wench wrench, okay, is Mrs. Fix-It, or the blacksmith. She cleans up nicely, but is often an unkempt beauty. Curious as a monkey. Yeah. Hackette, right? Gadgeteer genius. Science hero's babe assistant. Okay. Where is it? But it explains the difference, though. So it's like, science hero's babe assistant is less technically competent, and the hood ornament hottie is related, where the woman may be dressed or posed as if she was a mechanic, but is just eye candy. But a wrench wench is equal to the engineer. So she is a female engineer. That's what it is. It's really funny. And when you think about it, in a lot of shows, not just anime, there are, they'll have a woman character who's really good at putting stuff together, right? That's her thing, right? And that'll make the show work, yeah? And this site is full of this stuff. So if you ever get bored, it's all here. And look, you can even look it up. So here, let's find something famous. Let's find live action movies. Okay, I bet there's loads of them in like Marvel and stuff. Let's have a look. Furiosa in Mad Max Fury Road. She knows how the war rig works. Yeah? And in Furiosa Mad Max saga, it shows that she was a mechanic in the Citadel. She pretended to be a boy or something. I can't remember. I don't know. Tank Girl. Megan Fox in the Transformers film. She could fix the car, remember? She was really good with cars, but hid it from her boyfriend to remain popular. Yeah. Plenty more examples. But it's an interesting resource anyway. I remember a long time ago, we all used to hang out and just sort of look at it on Discord and TeamSpeak, just joking about. So page 3, what are you doing? You should have finished by now. Let's check on him. Build Inspiration Challenge. I need to do a video of the Bucketheads with the Bucketheads music, says Dragon. Good idea. The first 2 cats you bought, says Dragon. Yeah, Dragon's first 2 cats were named Bebop and Rocksteady. Why is he editing this? So he started making page 4, then he made page 3, and then, wait, what? Hang on. Page 1 to right after, which I need to complete. Page 3, so let me think about the structure, the remaining pages. I'll continue with page 2. Oh, right, okay, so I see that page 3 was successfully saved, but it was truncated, so that's why. He truncated the end of page 3. In a fit of madness. Claude was like, ow, and he stopped writing. What I like, my favourite Claude feature, facts, is actually when you'll watch him get to the end of the page. He'll like type, the end. And then he'll go in the thinking tab, he'll say, oh, I appear to have missed one line. I'm going to start again. Look, he's going to do it now. Don't wait a minute. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Okay, he didn't. See, sometimes he'll go, here, look, it looks as if there was an issue with the previous save where the content was cut off at Lieutenant. We need to complete this page, but sometimes he'll, I'll start again from scratch. And you're like, no, what are you doing? And he'll literally ditch the whole page and start again. But I'm going to be honest, I don't use these ever. I never use these ever. I think I used checkpoint once to show people how it works and then never again. Because if I'm being honest, like, it's like this. If it doesn't work, you generate it again. So why do I need to go back? It's kind of pointless. If it didn't work, it didn't work. It's kind of like, I'm not going to put the egg back together if I break it. I'm going to get another egg. I don't know, man. Sometimes I think there's like a design philosophy. It's like, I think people are so used to working with a code base. I have to fix the bugs in my code base. And the reality is that very soon you'll be able to just imagine your code base in one go. You've got a new code base now. Look, I don't know if that's going to be necessarily better or worse, but it's going to be different. I think somebody, might have been Dragon, pointed out, we're trying to keep humans in the loop, and that's our main advantage and approach. But he said, I spent my whole career taking humans out the loop, because of course it was all about, the last 20 years have been automation. And now it's like, they've actually got AI that genuinely can automate everything, and everyone's like, whoa, slow down. It's funny, when they were putting all the call centers in, nobody cared about, is this too fast? You know? You're like, mass redundancies, and they're like, we're making loads of money. 10 years later, AI comes out, they're like, oh no, maybe now they're asking, should we? You know? It's kind of funny. Looks like there's a problem, yeah. So hopefully he can actually finish page 3. This does happen sometimes. Usually you get a clean run and he'll just go 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So he should be writing the last page by now, but he seems to have gotten stuck on page 3. And to be honest, it's not a bug. It's because I've given him quite a complex task this time. And so he needs to finish the colonel's command that was cut off, add the analysis of structural damage from a nuclear blast, show how the squad decides to proceed towards the rendezvous, ensure a smooth narrative transition to page 4, which begins with, see, he's actually trying to make he's rewriting the end and the beginning of each page to make sure that it still fits. It's really truly impressive. If I didn't ask him to do that, he just knows he has to do it. To do the job which I asked him to do, I didn't need to tell him to do every single little thing, you know? There we go. From Lieutenant, look. Is he going to make it to the end of the page, though? Emergence from the Dreadnought. Okay. Final defensive line. Massive blast door. Countess approaches the convergence point. Final anchor placement complete. They keep saying that, but I don't think it's true. I think that happens on page 5, actually. I'm guessing they mean the final anchor, because there's 5 places. They have to put them on the planet in 5 places. You know, the idea is to stop anybody else from invading the dimension and taking it from the Empire. That's they got pylons, guys. They have to construct additional pylons. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm this far away from introducing a sniper called Leroy Jenkins, because it'd be funny. Obviously, we'd come up with a better name, but you see the level. What on earth is going on with this highlighting? Why is it like? Why is it what? I don't know why. She's burning through recursion cartridges. They just said. I just spotted that. Oh no! Cogsworth is saying stuff like, "I look forward to developing like someone he makes a wow, your combat instincts are great," and then the other machine was like, "Oh well, that's because I've had 300 years of combat experience or something," and then the private's like, "Wow," like wide-eyed, I can't wait till I get that experience. It's like setting him up to get killed. He's going to be like, "I'll be right back, everyone." I love it. It's really good. It's written really well. It's doing all the tricks which you would expect. Like, there was a real cinematic moment in one of the books which has got me into this. And I was sort of like, oh my god. Like, I was reading the book, I was reading it back, and I was like, yes, this is exactly... I was impressed that it was there. It was kind of like, I think that the enemy were suppressing them. They're pinned down. And he like did a self-internal update. And like he freezes up under fire. And then he like gets the update and he starts like fainting. He starts doing a feint because basically the enemy can predict their movements somehow. And remember, it's like a recursion war. So it's like AI can predict what you're going to do next, you know? And so you have like 2 factions that are fighting each other that are both predicting each other's next move with extreme accuracy. So it's kind of like he kind of does a Deadpool, I guess. He becomes unpredictable and is able to, you know, win the day. But yeah, there was a real cinematic moment there. I was like reading it going, damn. Like I could see the scene and I was like, damn, this is like a legendary moment right here. I was actually genuinely surprised. And that's why I kept saying there's no excuse for bad writing anymore. Well, actually, no, wait. No, wait. I tell a lie. There's no excuse for bad writing when you've got $1 million budget plus. That's what I meant to say. That's what I meant to say. If you're like Netflix or Amazon or something like that, there's no excuse. No excuse at all. Because it's like, you know, people like to say AI is slop. People like to say AI is slop. But the thing is, if the cost of my slop is $1.14 and the cost of yours is $1 million and it sucks, like it flopped and nobody liked it, it doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's literally the pot calling the kettle black. It's like, that's an old saying, because they used to burn the pot with fire, right? So the pot's as black as the kettle. It's obviously we all have electric everything now, so you don't get a black kettle, like you don't burn it, right? But so that's what I mean. It's like an old saying now, but it's kind of like you don't, you know, because I used to do YouTube, like video gaming YouTube and stuff like that, and yeah, daily uploads. It's just another game, just the same game, you know, kind of deal, you know. I mean, it's kind of a little bit, I wouldn't throw rocks in a glass house, you know, by calling the competition slop. I'd be like, that's a bit of a dangerous thing to say right there, because you're only welcoming criticism on yourself, really, like, because the AI just gets better and better and better, and the other content is the same. It's the same. It's been the same since 2013. Clickbait, jump cut, big in the thumbnail, you know, wow mouth. I don't know. You know, we all joke about it, but it's kind of like, I think AI content is actually going to become, it won't be long before the AI content is more creative, because the bankruptcy right now, the creative bankruptcy that we've been going through, just as a society, for the last 10 years, it's been bad, man. It's like, yeah, we get some good stuff come through, but a lot of it hasn't been very... It's been bad reboots. Think about it. How many reboots have there been that just failed? It was like, what are you doing? I was expecting them to do like a reboot of Pee Wee Herman or something and put Chris Pratt in it or something. Like it was getting out of control. I did like Mario movie though. I thought that was cool. And the Sonic movie was cool. There's been some successes. It's not all crap. But I'm just saying there's been a lot of misses. Fernicar says there's a slight difference in buying the plot from Netflix and being disappointed versus reading your free self-published book. That's true. That is true. But when you think about it, right, if they spent 200 million on a TV show like Star Wars The Acolyte, I think they spent a lot more than that. I think they might have spent a lot more than that. And, you know, that just lost money hand over fist. If I make £2 on my book from self-publishing, I sell one copy with a £2 profit margin, I've probably made more money than they have. You know? It's the same thing for a lot of these video games that have been coming out lately. They just don't make money because no one wants to buy them, and they put tens of millions, 100 million, and then nobody buys it. And it's like, you've got some guy with an indie game, he made it in a weekend, he's selling it for £1. He's going to make more money. Yeah. Yeah, it's true, Dragon, it's true, that is true. He's just pointed out certain elements in the current, what do they call it? It's the current year. So zeitgeist, elements in the zeitgeist have blunted creativity and writing because people are afraid. It's true, they're afraid of offending people. That's what it is. I can remember, like, think about it, that every story has to have an antagonist or an enemy, right? There has to be a villain, right? And they're over time. Remember Back to the Future? Who were the villains in Back to the Future? You know? Remember the Doc got his radioactive plutonium from, like, what was it? What were they? Cubans? Was it Cubans? So it's sort of like every 5 to 10 years they change who the baddies are in movies. And it's sort of like they've gotten to the point where they're like, we'll make up a country. I think that's what they did in Top Gun, which was actually really clever. They just made up a country. They were like, yeah, we've got to do a mission in somewhere-istan. Iranians. It was Iranians. It was, wasn't it? It was Iranians. And they wanted a bomb, and he was like, nah, make it a time machine. Classic. But that's my point, though. You know? We can vote with our votes. Just ignore them. Yeah. It's true, Full Dive. Right. But yeah, it's interesting. But I think that what you need to do is just focus on what you're doing and do what you do, and don't worry about all that, because I think it's a distraction. It's like a side quest that stops you from completing the game. It's the best parallel analogy I can think of. It's like endless side quests that you don't even count towards your main career, you know, your main storyline, right? Okay. So page 0, the machine's burden, introduces the Empress authorizing specialized temporal operation for Squad 743 Epsilon, receiving their mission briefing. Page 1, the Imperial Summons details the squad's preparation and briefing about the Pincer with Countess Amberley. Dimensional Insertion chronicles the squad's arrival in L742. It loves it. The blast, diving insertion, and beginning of the underground approach. Page 3, Subterranean Advance follows squad's journey through enemy tunnels, encountering temporal anomalies left by the Countess. Convergence Point details squad's final push to the rendezvous coordinates, and Private Cogsworth's heroic sacrifice. The final anchor, climactic convergence with the Countess, installation of the reality anchor, and mission completion. Narrative successfully implements key elements. Temporal pincer movement with squad moving forward in time while Countess Amberley travels backward. Consistent character voices and Imperial terminology throughout. Development of relationship between Sergeant Coppergear and Countess Amberley. It's been saying that for like 2 books now. I don't really know what they meant. I did read the book. I haven't read this one yet, obviously. It just got written. Gradual setup for Private Cogsworth's heroic sacrifice. Hero's journey in reverse from a return with elixir back to call to adventure. Each page connects seamlessly to the next, with the final line of page 0 transitioning perfectly to the open line of page 1, creating a narrative loop that mirrors temporal mechanics at the heart of the story. Say what, mate? So you're saying the end of this story... Hold up. What's it done this time? Machine's burden had found its next destination. The Empire would expand, order would replace chaos, and squad would serve as perfect mechanical instruments of calculated conquest. Whoa, what a line. I like that. So that's going to go on to page 1. Dimension L742. Non-standard technology. I mean, I guess... Sometimes I think he does bullshit a little bit with what he tells you at the end here, but... I mean, yeah, there it is. The book is done. So now all I got to do is upscale. So let's just take a look. What do we got on character count? 23,000 characters per page. That's not bad. Generally speaking, with like something like Gemini or another LLM you might use this with, you might only see 3,000 to 6,000, with 12,000 after the upscale. Whereas this... My God, 23,000 is probably going to be 100,000 characters per chapter. So you're looking at 600,000 characters estimate by the time it's finished. So yeah, and it's everything I told it to do, but with all of the details that are implied, inferred, or collapsed into what I was saying. I like that it remembered Titanium Apex, the name of the director, because that was established in the last book, and I'd forgotten about it. I'd forgotten his name. Okay. So yeah, that worked. Book's written. I'm going to close all these up. So the first thing I'm going to want to do, obviously, is zip it up. So I got book 3 original. Okay, now obviously at this point it's ready for upscaling, but before I upscale it, what I like to do is make the story supplement, because the story supplement before upscaling, it's going to be the same information. You see what I mean? Like if I want a summary of the story now versus upscaling it, the upscale doesn't add anything new, it just makes it more detailed. Do you know what I mean? So it's not going to like change the story. So it's lighter, cheaper, less tokens, faster response time to read it, and you know. So I would do that next. I would make my story supplement 3 now before upscaling it, because like I said, any details that get added in the upscaling process, it's like more richer detail. It's not actually going to change any of the lines or any pivotal information in the storyline now. Yeah. I think that's everything. Yeah, so let's just wrap up here tonight because it's 11 past. So tomorrow we'll be taking a look at some fine-tuned laurers, because obviously we've trained a whole bunch of fine-tuned laurers. I believe that most of these laurers are already up, published, so you can just go ahead and start using them. Just trying to think here. Yep. Wait. Okay, so I need to sort out Reynolds. No, yeah, the Reynolds oil painting style I haven't published, but I think everything else is up to date now. I do actually have way more squads. I've got like Rifleman, Scout. I've got a bunch of characters for Empire, but we are still adjusting for the next version, the next training. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just trying to see, is there anything I forgot to cover tonight? Obviously, there's the article on training videos with Civet. Let's see if they're back up. I reckon that little downtime earlier was so that they could disable it. Yeah, it's not back. All right, well, that gives me some time to prepare a fancy video, doesn't it, guys? So, in that case, I want to thank you all for hanging out tonight, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks, guys.